tried to, I believe, get the original Kowalski from the movie, but he was otherwise involved. Thank God, because we ended up then with Jay Acabone, who was fabulous. And Kasuf. We had Kasuf from the movie. And I think that was it, right? Right? Well, I don't know, you keep nodding yes or no, so I just wanted to ask you if that was right. No, I won't marry you.
You keep asking me to yes to your marijuana.
Little does he know I have my own. Was that the, what was the question? What was it? Sue. Was there anybody else? No, that was a different story. And that was it, right? That was it, right? Yeah, O'Neill was different. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah, so that was kind of all that I think they were trying, because obviously we knew we wouldn't get Spader, we knew we wouldn't get Kurt Russell, and then none of the other black guys in the movie talked, so they just added me. So yeah, thank you. Yes?
G'day, Chris.
Stand up.
I didn't want to block anyone's view. Just wondering, with the makeup stuff that you sort of wore, you know the symbiote cut thing, did they put that on you every episode just in case, like, a wardrobe malfunction, it came up? Just in case it wouldn't show that...
We are talking about the symbiote, right?
Yeah. Just to always show that, it wouldn't be a mistake.
In the beginning, it was a full body prosthesis that I would lay into, and then there were puppeteers, three of them, three special effects guys, who had the unfortunate task of being right behind my butthole for 3 hours at a time while we were doing this. And then later on it became a visual effect. But I remember during the pilot, I would walk around with this and the puppeteers would walk behind me and I would forget that I had it on. And so I'd be talking to someone and then they would make the symbiote go like this and stab me in the chest. which freaked me out every time. I would forget that I had it on. So I was the happiest guy in the world when they decided, hey, we're just going to CGI it. So, yeah. Thank you.
It's a little blurry.
What? Yeah. Oh, here. Oh, there's no questions? Puppetry of the Penis was on Channel 1.
Hi, Chris.
I was just about to go behind the screen.
My question is about all the different directors you had on Stargate.
Hated them.
And did you find that a little bit hard to cope with having someone different each week, or were there some you really liked and some you were glad you only had to put up with them every once in a while?
Well, the great thing was, like, the first 2 years, we kind of found who our directors were going to be, and we had a lot of different directors the first couple of years. But then after that, we pretty much used the same directors over and over, and truly we used them over and over because they were great, and we just all got along so well. Our directors were top notch, and so we were very, very fortunate in that respect. And so, but we did have, some that didn't last. I won't mention any names. And this is a lot of this is due to Rick and Michael Greenberg, who, Michael Greenberg was our on-set executive producer. So he really set the tone for everyone's kind of behavior, which we were given a great deal of leeway in our on-set conduct. But the one thing that was demanded was that you treat everyone with respect, and that the environment was very supportive. And if you as a director came in and you were a screamer and yeller, that would be the only episode you directed. So, and that's pretty much all due to Rick and Michael Greenberg. So we were very fortunate in that respect.
Hi, Chris.
Oh.
You fought for a long
Wait,
time.
don't try to outdeep me.
You fought for a long time to have hair.
Yes.
You got me at the moment.
Yeah. The reason I don't is because I don't know if you guys heard, for like the last 2 months we were in a heat wave in LA. And so for 2 months, it was never cooler than 100 degrees. And so even at night, I could rarely dip below 80 degrees. So it just got too hot to have hair, you know. And it was because one of my sons is growing his hair out. So I said, oh, okay, I'll regrow mine out. And his hair is now that long. Anyway, so it was just a matter of, I just could take the heat and have hair. So.
And the other thing is, Amanda always tells stories about you when
Liar.
she's here.
She's a liar.
She even called you from one event I was at live. Called you. Can you tell us any good dirt on Amanda?
Did you say could I or will I? I could tell you a lot of stuff. I think of all of us, probably Amanda has the least amount of dirt on her. Like, she really is that girl. I mean, she's just a sweet, lovely girl. My goal was to get her to fart for 10 years. She just wouldn't do it. I mean, I'm sure she did at some point, but just not on set. Which I'm sure a lot of our crew members wish that they could say that about me. No, she really is like that sweet and that kind. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of dirt on her, you know. I can tell you about the early days when she used to go to strip joints with us, and drink with us, and carouse with us, and all that stuff. But I mean, what would be the point? Thank you. Yeah.
What was it like working with Corin Nemec?
Living with him?
Working with him.
Oh, working with him. It's like, wow, I know I drink a lot, but I forgot living with the guy. Corky is, that's what I call him, much to his chagrin. You know, he was in a tough position. He was replacing, you know, obviously, you know, a character that was very much loved. And when he first came, there was no one harder on him than I was. But the dude is just such a lovable dude that he really, we really got to like each other. And he's just like so mellow and like so zen all the time, you know. I think as high as a kite most of the time, but no, it was great. I mean, he has a great work ethic. But it's weird. Like, everyone's process is different, so it was weird adjusting to, because he liked to discover things while you're filming, which a lot of actors do. You know, every take for them is different. Well, it's very hard to do that in television because you know, first of all, you only have a couple takes at it, you only have a couple kicks at it, and then you have to kind of give the same performance every take so they can cut it all together. Corin used to have this thing where, I don't know if you guys know, but he liked to eat and drink. Every scene, he would always be eating like bananas and drinking coffee, but he would never do it at the same time during his lines. So very tough to edit together things because, you know, if he said, you know, we should go to P3X 798, first take you go, I think we should go to P3X 798. Wow. Second take, I think we should go to P3X 798. Well, how are you going to cut that together? Because it'll look like this. I think we should go to P3X 798. So it was, we had the most ridiculous bans on stuff that you could ever imagine. I'll get to the rest of them later. But Corin was banned from eating or drinking on set. Which is true. But I dig that kid. I dig him. And you know, for what he was asked to come in and do, which was unwinnable, I think he did a heck of a job.